The BRICS countries said earlier today that they will be working on a way to settle quickly that will use coins to send money around the world. Like you might expect, this led to a lot of guesswork. Someone said this meant XRP was doomed and had failed horribly, while someone else said it meant the BRICS countries were using XRP as their base for quick settlement. What's really going on here? In this video, we talk about what you need to know about what is being worked on and what you should learn from this statement in its current form. I'd also like to talk about the big sale that happened earlier today, during which the value of cryptocurrencies fell by a lot. I'm going to show you some charts in this video that will help you decide if the thesis is true, if we have done any major long-term damage to the charts, or if this was just a short-term retreat before prices go up much more. At the start of this video, I have a short but very exciting news to make. The EVM sidechain is going through the roof. One of the main developers of the EVM sidechain told us earlier today that there are more than 100,000 coders who want to work on the sidechain, and that more than 1,000 contracts have already started beta testing. It's been a long time since the XRP system had any developers, so this is really exciting. Before it was made, the XRP record was the best blockchain for doing business with money. You can only pay for things in so many ways though, right? You can send me money from point A to point B, or we can send money to someone else. Additionally, while the payments were a creative method for moving money, there aren't many ways to add more uses on top of that. Ripple has the biggest one. The most obvious use case for payments is sending money around the world with XRPI. Besides that, though, it's hard to make new and interesting things like DeFi without smart contracts. But it looks like the EVM sidechain will be the best way to link to build DeFi on the XRP ledger. It is very important that we don't downplay how ridiculous this situation is. There were 100,000 coders and 100,000 smart contracts, which means that something very important took place here. That's why they were so successful they didn't try to make the wheel. From what we know, more and more workers already like writing code in an EVM environment. Because of this, the people working on this project chose to use the standards that most coders already know, instead of trying to make their own rules for making smart contracts on the XRP ledger. Then, using the speed and efficiency of the XRP system, we can let anyone who is making Ethereum apps just come up to us and say, hey, let me build the same app I was working on in a place that is faster and more efficient. I think this is great because now they don't have to teach all of these developers a new language or start from scratch. Instead, they can use what they already know to work on the XRP ledger, a production-grade blockchain that doesn't charge $100 for transactions that move money from point A to point B or need 15 minutes to settle. I thought this was brilliant, which is that the BRICS are creating their own cryptocurrency site to send money around the world. Now, earlier today, I saw almost every possible point of view on Twitter. Some say this means XRP is going away. Some say this shows that XRP is involved. I'd like to tell you what I think. It's important to understand right away that the BRICS countries will not create an autonomous open source system. They want control over it in the same way that the US has control over SWIFT's settlement system right now. It is natural that the BRICS will want to be in charge of the system they set up. More than that, most countries that aren't BRICS won't trust this method anyway. Why? Because it's clear that the BRICS countries will be in charge of it. I think this makes it very clear that it won't work on the XRP system. The XRP ledger is an open source decentralized system. It doesn't make sense for countries that want to control the system to build it on top of the XRP platform. It makes a lot more sense for XRP ledger to build their own separate system and connect it to an XRP ledger. And why does that have to happen? But this news makes it very clear that the world is breaking apart. Every country wants to have its own method. It is important for each country to have its own currency and not rely on other countries to follow the same set of rules for values. The XRP system is a great way to link all of these different countries together. For XRP, one bad thing that could happen is that everyone got along great. It would be fine if everyone just agreed that SWIFT was to blame. We are still going to use SWIFT. What do you understand? You can trust us dollars. It's not really important. It doesn't bother us that they froze all of our assets at the same time. Due to the lack of a better option, we will stick with the single centralized structure and the US dollar. In the end, everyone can get along for XRP. This was the bearish possibility which we saw with Brexit creating its own settlement system and more countries joining or leaving the group. XRP is very important for the future we are going into because of the chaos, doubt, and lack of faith in the world. As more countries break away from each other and make their own systems like BRICS, we will need an independent, decentralized way to settle disputes between all of them. XRP was always made for a world where different countries were setting up their own systems. This is because people will still need to deal with each other in uncontrolled systems, even if they don't trust each other or want to work together. And XRP is right where it needs to be. What danger does XRP seem to pose to this new system that the BRICS are putting together? Not in the least. In my opinion, it makes XRP more important. But do I think they were building it on the XRP ledger? It doesn't make sense for them to act that way, so I doubt it. They will want a system that is based in one place. They will want something that they are in charge of. Having said that, I think the thing that most people miss the most is how this adds value to a future with decentralized neutral liquid settlement assets. XRP is just that. From the start, that was what it was meant to do. As Ripple has said from the start, we see an internet of value that links networks and puts liquidity in the form of a free-flowing digital currency at its core. At this point, this is where XRP stands. The XRP ledger will not be used as the basis for all of these centralized countries' banking tools and settlement systems. That is what you should use for unified opaque source code. But you'll need more neutral, autonomous liquid protocols to link centralized closed source technologies that are more of them. That's where the XRP is. That is always where it should go. Also, the world we are entering seems to back up that idea even more. Gentlemen, I just had to quickly bring up something before I end this movie. When I woke up this morning, I saw that a lot of people were worried about the recent drop in the price of cryptocurrencies. Good afternoon. I think a lot of Caleb on X, he made some great calls about other things like scam shakeout. I agree with you, and I'm happier than I was before. I could see huge wicks on every trade, and this looked like a very clever attempt to trick the market. Unless companies are trying to buy these assets at very low prices, wicks don't usually last this long. I believe what we saw was institutions using leverage against retail to get more coins. These groups know about every order you make. They are aware of where the power is and how to get rid of it. We are seeing more and more big buyers of wicks as this bull market continues. They are doing this to get these cryptocurrencies at very low prices. This asset class is getting a lot of attention from institutions, so I don't think it will slow down anytime soon. We've only just started. The first cryptocurrency exchange traded fund ETF just came out, and I think we will see a lot more of them as more of these assets become part of the regular banking system. Having said that, let's quickly look at the price chart for XRP to see if the selling earlier today did any damage. What you're about to see won't surprise you at all. We saw that XRP stuck to this pattern of symmetric shapes very closely. Even though it was mostly turned down at this highest resistance level, I think we will soon start to push back. As I already said, these losses are being eaten up by institutions. Institutions are aware of how strong XRP is. They know where XRP stands in the world. As you can see, the long-term XRP price chart didn't show much of the liquidation that we saw. Right now, our movements are still moving around inside this symmetrical triangle. There will be something that breaks us through the top of this. There's nothing we can do but wait for things to happen. What we saw earlier today was nothing less than what we expected. I made it clear on this show that things won't get better for XRP until they start lighting a God candle. It hasn't begun yet. It's trying its best. It is responding to this resistance. But it's important to remember that nothing we saw earlier in the day changes anything. We're still waiting for the breakout, but as banks take back their assets and make money from the closings of stores, I think we will be pushing up against this barrier very soon. There's more to these groups than meets the eye. They're not in town to quickly make a deal. They are here to buy up this time.